Megan Madonna wrote that. It's just incredible. And every time your soul just goes, yes, absolutely. I am here to do amazing things. Or in your case, I am here to continue to do amazing things. Yes? Absolutely. So a man gets a job painting the white line in the middle of the road. And the first day, the foreman was extremely impressed because he took his paint bucket and he went down about 2 miles. That's a lot of coverage there. And then the next day, he only painted the white line about 1 mile. And then the next day, he only painted it like a 1/2 mile. So the foreman brought him in and said, you know, I don't really understand what's going on. We were so impressed with you in the beginning because you painted that white line, you know, for 2 miles. You know, what's going on? He said, well, I just got further and further and further away from my paint bucket. Right? And that is part of why we come here. It is why in our world, in our times, in our beingness as humanity, we will always desire to come in to replenish, yes, our own paint bucket, to replenish who we are, to remind, to remember, to trigger, to have some type of encounter. To me, spiritual community is the must-have for everybody in the world, and that is why we do what we do, is so that if you read the titles in the newspaper, I don't know about you, but every answer to me is unity. Practice that with me, if you would, please. When you're reading the titles in the paper, or the online, and unity has the answer for this. Yes? Let's practice that. And unity has the answer for that. Because in unity we love life. In unity we allow. In unity we coexist. In unity we like different. We're not opposed or intimidated by it. In the true teaching of unity, we have esteem when we see other people have it. Our egos do not and are not threatened by it. Yes? And so it's that kind of consciousness likened to the elephants that gather back in their stomping grounds. They come together to stomp. Be careful stomping, but stomping in the reminding each other of that we are here to do amazing things. Gratitude is what we see, and grace is what we are living to see. Gratitude is what we see, making that gratitude list. But grace is what we're living to see. It's somewhere between the no longer and the not yet. And it's in that space that with spiritual eyes and heart, and not necessarily talking about the physical ones, though both of those are very important, that we start to see things a lot differently in how things connect with us. I love this quote by... I love the phone. Okay. I love this quote by DeWitt Jones. If we want truly extraordinary vision, then we have to continually expand our horizons. Makes sense? Yes, we know this. We have to take risk. If we don't push our edge, we'll never expand our view. This is my favorite part. It's not trespassing to go beyond your own boundaries. It's not trespassing to go beyond your own boundaries. As we're talking about, here we are, welcome home energetically, welcome home spiritually, as we're identifying this in our own way and in our own being. I was reminded of a time in my life that I was pioneering communities. In my early days of ministry, I was pioneering in areas where there wasn't a science of mind. I was science of mind. As you know, I'm bi-spiritual, so I'm science of mind, unity over there. And because it's all the same, really, just a little bit of word changes. But that being said, so I was pioneering, and I was building a work, and so therefore I needed other things for an income. And most ministers still do. Take that to heart. Anyhow, so I got a job working and selling high-end real estate. And it was a great opportunity for me. It was on Palm Beach Island, in a little island called Manalapan, Castles by the Sea. And wow, was I ready to go. And I'm like, I got this. And so I showed these beautiful castles right there and on the Atlantic. And I felt like I had arrived, you know. And so the broker at the real estate office, he said to me, I have a client coming. And he's looking at like a $5 million home, probably be $12 million now. He said, I have a client looking for this home, and I understand he's in that, you know, that kind of stuff like you're into, you know. I go, yeah. He goes like science of mind, some kind of new thought, kind of something. And I want you to show him this property because he could really relate to you. And his name is Reverend Ike. Do you know him? And I said, know him, love him, yes. So Reverend Ike, for those of you that aren't aware of who he is, he really introduced the idea of mail order products. Way back in the day, he was sending, anybody remember what a cassette tape is? If some of you don't, I'll be happy to explain it to you after. And again, we're happy for you, okay? But that being said, so he did mail orders. And he really took this prosperity thing to heart. We've gotten away from this in New Thought. I want to bring it back in. We've gotten away from abundant thinking all the time with your breath, with your life, with your energy, with your finances, with your checkbook, with your investments. We've kind of watered things down. It's time to have a resurrection about the original idea of New Thought and what it's supposed to be. Are you with me? I mean, we're supposed to be following one of our teachers, our friend called Jesus, who said, live life and live life how? Hello, okay. And as we know, prosperity is a way of being. It's everything. It's everything. But he took that to heart. And I went and I got there real early and I was waiting in the driveway. And here he comes and he has this entourage of Excaliburs and you name it, whatever was the highest cars, all different colors. He walks in with that suit and man, whoo, he was going. And I said, hi, Reverend Ike. I said, I'm here to show you the property. And he got all his 12, 15 people that followed him around to come in. And they're like taking it all in. And he said, let's go out on the deck. And he said, you said my name like you know me. And I said, oh, I do. I said, I've followed Johnny Coleman and you for many years. Well, how do you know Johnny Coleman? Well, how do you know us? And I said, well, I'm a Science of Mind minister. He said, sit down. Sit down for a minute. He said, you know, anybody can do a different profession, but you're a minister. You have no reason to be here. You need to go back out and you need to make the adjustments in your own life and you need to claim what you were born here to do and to be. Bam! I was like, and he said, and don't ever let anybody put change in the offering basket. Well, I never really got into that, but he could do it and get by with it. Changed my life. Changed my life. An encounter. I would find myself in 2018 talking to a woman that had been on my radio show, and she happened to be the executive director of the Palace and living in the home that Reverend Ike lived in. I told her the story, and she invited me there. So I got the good grace of standing in the palace and saying, thank you, Reverend Ike. You changed my life. You held me to what I was supposed to be. Those encounters aren't unique to Temple Hayes. Those encounters are for you as well. Those moments, wherever you are, that grab you, that go, really? And you're doing what? How? And we in our society have learned to call it, radical criticism. Rather than you're here to support my well-being. I mean, I've always lived in this place of I'll take all the help I can get, right? And so a defining moment. How many of you know Bishop Carlton Pearson? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Bishop Carlton Pearson was Oral Roberts' protege. And he was up and coming, and he was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he had thousands and thousands and thousands of people coming to his community. And the longer he went through the years of teaching hell, fire, brimstone, and anti-this, and can't be that, and anti and not accepting that, it became harder and harder on his being. And so he comes up one Sunday, and I mean, people loved him from near and far, and they came from everywhere, in TV ministry, you name it. And he stood up and said, I can't do this anymore. I cannot teach this anymore. I cannot say that this is truth. I cannot believe in a God that says that people are wrong because of what they choose or how they live, or I don't even believe in hell, he said. And that place cleared out. It was too much freeing from bondage all at one time, right? That place cleared out. And all the people that loved him and the people that he mentored, like T.D. Jakes, all those people were no longer there. So unlike me with the Reverend Ike's story, that was a choice to go into something that I believed, and I felt like I was making that choice all along. With him, he felt like it was a spiritual relocation. He was forced into the new direction of his life. And that's where some of you are right now. It's when life brings incident so that you have the awakening of your soul and you realize that there's a direction that you're supposed to go. But we want to get past the staying in resistance of what's happening and recognize that it's happening to take us where we need to go. Are you connecting with that? And so he said that Michael J. Fox gave him a call and said, I'm so sorry what you're having to go through, because he lost everything. And Oral, I mean, none of them would have anything to do with him. He has a movie called Come Sunday on Netflix, and you may want to watch it. Talk about courage. Talk about being willing to be stripped down so the real you can, come and materialize and to be. But when Michael J. Fox called him, he said, I'm so sorry this is happening to you and that you chose to do this. And Carlton said, I didn't choose. I was pushed out. And Michael said, and that's how I felt. So everybody breathe that in. Because it's a spiritual relocation. You think you're going to spend your life at a certain job, then you don't. You think you're going to retire, and then you're not able to. You think you're going to live here, and then you wind up over here. Or you think you're going to live in Florida the rest of your life. And then you get these messages that you're moving to Santa Barbara, California. That's what life is. And yet, what it brings to us is a greater awareness of who we are. It's likened to a butterfly longs to fly so much that it's willing to give up being a caterpillar. And this is often where pain comes from, is when we are in roles, we're in relationships, we're clinging on to things that no longer fit us. Our vibration is changing all the time. And though we'll keep some of the friends and same relationships we've had, I still have my same friend since I'm 3 and she's 4 years old. That's a while. Don't get sidetracked with the math now. Let's go. But it's that kind of aspect. There's 3 different kinds of people. There are people that make things happen. They're the path makers. And there's people that see other people making things happen, and they jump in there, and they're the path takers. They kind of take the path, and they kind of move with it, you see. But then there's the people that go to sleep, wake up, and go, how'd this happen? Go to sleep, wake up, how'd this happen? And so our energy is one that we want to organically live in a place that we are on our own unique path. And when we're on our unique path, immersed by law, following our guidance, listening to what the next step is in front of us, then everything heals and reveals accordingly. We become into our whole. We become into our holiness, just like Myrtle Fillmore. The real moment, people think, is when Myrtle Fillmore, one of our founders, was healed. And that's very magical and miraculous stuff. But the real moment is when she declared, this is not true for me. I'm not accepting this. I'm not going to buy into this. I'm not going to have it that my DNA says I'm dying at 40. I have children. I have a life. I'm not doing it. That was the defining moment. I'm on my unique path, and I'm going to live it accordingly. Yes? And so then she paid attention. That's what we do. We pay attention. We heighten our awareness. And she went to a lecture by E.B. Weeks, knowing she had weeks to live. How can you miss that? I got weeks to live. There's somebody named E.B. Weeks. I ought to pay attention. And he said, you are a child of God, and therefore you cannot inherit disease. Bam! That was it. But see, that's like Emma Curtis Hopkins would say, sometimes that's too tough to buy. Why? You might wonder why. Why? Thank you for asking. $5 for you. Because when we're in our natural direction, it's easy. It's not hard. It's easy. It's not hard. There's only one path. And people say, well, how do I know I'm on my path? Well, are you filled with discomfort and reasons and explaining and justifying? Probably not honoring your path. Are you looking for what's around the corner? If somebody resists you in your prayers, to go, thank you for not seeing me, because I know who I am. I see me. It's one path, one energy, one essence, one being. Wow. The power in that, yes. And that connection of the sacred that is for each and every one of us. We have a great opportunity in our times now. And it's like it has been since the beginning of humanity. That there's a group of people that step up and step forward and are not swayed by the conversations and the stories and, what are we going to do and how do we do it in our world today. This requires us to be more laser focused than ever. More laser focused than ever. As long as I am standing in front of you, I will never say that we live in a crazy world. Why? Because I believe in the power of affirmation. I believe in a world of peace, of possibilities. I believe in a world of consciousness. I believe in a world that is awakening. And our task is to continue to surround ourselves by people that are awakened. Are you with me? Are we on this journey together to remind people the value of being home? Because when people are comfortable with who they are, when they accept that they are home, when their core is of goodness, there is no threat to anything. There's the awareness, there's common sense, but there's the knowing the greater truth of who we are. There's a story of a man that he's having problems with his refrigerator, and so he calls in a refrigerator repair who happens to be a repair woman, and she comes to his house and he shows her the refrigerator and she looks at it and he watches her, and in a minute she walks over to the side of the refrigerator and she gives it a great big kick and it starts running again. And he was so excited, he said, well, okay, how much do I owe you? She said, $75. He went, well, that's a little steep, right? Could you write me out an invoice and explain to me what you did? And so she said, kick the refrigerator, $5. Knowing where to kick, $70. You know, every now and then we need a spiritual kick. We need a reminder of who we are. We long for a community that shows us that together we can do mighty and amazing things. We want to be part of something that is going somewhere. And that is what we are exemplifying in this community and throughout the country. Bless you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reverend Temple, for that inspirational talk. I needed to hear that. Let's give her a little more love. Good stuff, good stuff. Well, this is my favorite time of our service, one of my favorite times of our service. Listening to a great talk is the other favorite. This is our time when we get to practice the spiritual law of giving and receiving. It's one of our unity principles, and we can't practice this enough, right? We do it here on Sundays, and we do it every single day of our lives, practicing giving and receiving. What I'd like for us to do for just a moment, think of one thing that you have received from Unity of Santa Barbara. One thing, something in the past, or something even this morning that you have been blessed at Unity of Santa Barbara. Think of what that might be. And now just take that into your heart, into that place of gratitude and of love and blessing. And with that energy of gratitude, with that energy of love, let's bless our gifts this morning, no matter how you give, whether it's online, whether it's here in the sanctuary. Let's bless our gifts with our blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I share. And let's have the ushers come forward, please.
Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. You can dance if you want. Good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. People don't go crazy. People don't go mad. People don't forget the superpowers we all have. We were born to love, not hate. We can decide our fate. Look for the good in everything and celebrate all our mistakes. There's a silver lining, silver lining. You still have to find it, find it. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone needs sunshine. Everyone needs rain. Everyone is carrying around some kind of pain. I see who you are. You're just like me. Know you're searching for purpose, guided by the dream to see who you are. I'm just like you. I get lost sometimes and I forget what I came here to do. And I keep on trying, when the air gets brightening. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone is nature. Everyone is God. Everyone is love and light and vibration. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good. Yeah, look out for all the mirrors in your neighborhood. Look for the good. Look for the good. Yeah, life would sure be sweeter if everybody could. Look for the good in everything. Let me hear you. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone. Give it up for Woody Rene.
All right, wow, incredible. What a blessing.
Thank you, Reverend Temple. It's the greatest gift that I have received from Unity of Santa Barbara so far is being able to facilitate the metaphysical spiritual experience every Thursday. It's in person from 10 a.m. to noon, and it's an interactive prayer and meditation experience. This Thursday, I'm going to have my friend Brock Travis come up and speak to us about different ways to use Buddhism in our prayer and meditation practices. And for anyone who comes and brings a friend, I would like to gift you 1 hour of spiritual counseling with me. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. So you received the flyer when you came in. We are building, meaning Dr. Jim and Bibi really mostly are building the Vibrant Living series. And every month they have scheduled an incredible orator, teacher, educator. So please take that with you. And if you're unable to come, share it with someone who can, okay? Because, you know, I do get tired like you do of we're coming out of COVID. I'm like, and yet there's a reality of people. So we really are wanting to move forward and claim the new space of having people come to these events. November 6th is an exciting day for us. They all are. But they are exciting days. How many of you noticed that we have new signage on the building here? Russ did. Okay, $5 more for you. No, a new thing, identifying our bookstore, community rooms, etc. We have more signage that's going up. We have some parking signage where we welcome people that are here for the first time. Just pretend you didn't come this week, and next time you'll get a front row parking space. Yes. So in that, we have, on November 6th, we have the returning of the youth department. Yay! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh, we are so ecstatic about that. We have Nola, we have Nadia, and we have our beloved blessings from Jennifer Summerfield. So we are blessed, blessed, blessed. We are ready to claim more children and youth on these grounds. It's the only way to be, really. And we have chaplain, prayer team. If you are on the prayer team already, we want you here. If you want to be on the prayer team, we want you here. Chaplains. And also, if you are here and you attend and you're assigned to mind practitioner, we want you to be of service here. So we'll talk about all that on November the 6th. Friendship Sunday and Expo is November the 13th. November the 20th, we have a panel about aging, reality or myth. Right? We need to pull that one out, that's for sure. November 20th, the panel at noon. We've got lots of great people that not only understand it, but are living it. You'll be very pleased with that. November 23rd is Thanksgiving Eve, Thanksgiving service. November 23rd. So it's the day before Thanksgiving. We're having like a gratitude ceremony with dessert. So mark your calendar about that. We are featuring this month in our Wings bookstore. We have copies, The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. Rhonda Byrne lives in Ojai, did The Secret. Everyone knows who she is. But we're featuring that book for the month. In December, we're featuring A Redbird Christmas by our local well-known author, Fannie Flagg. So each month, we're going to feature a book and make sure that we have it in the bookstore. So in alignment with my talk today, do you have it in your hearts to hear one more thing? Yes. Okay, are you? Okay, you're still here? Okay. So I wanted to ask for us to start a practice in our homes, starting today with this being our home. And so I'm inviting you as we are going into the next couple of months of holy days, holidays, D-A-Z-E, of whatever it happens to be, is that we become and we implement some of the simple and yet most sacred experiences that we could have. And so if you would take a small bowl at home, and every morning you fill it with water. And as you're filling it with water, you say a blessing for your life, for your family, for your well-being, your awareness, whatever it is. But you bless into the water, into the bowl. And you do that every day. And then in the evening, you release the water and you turn it over. And you thank the universe for the nothingness and what is yet to come. Are we together on this? Yes. All right. So a blessing bowl every day. Fill it with water. Say what you're thankful for. Empty it out in the night, or go put it on a plant. That would be even better. I'm seeing some of you look at me like, don't waste the water. Yes. Excuse me. I love to be caught. Just got it. I hear you. I am psychic, so watch what you're thinking. Just saying. Let's have a blessing right now for this incredible community and for all the lives that have walked on these grounds, and all the people before us and the architects that built this, one being Shirley Campbell's dad, who built the chapel that would go on to have her name on it. That's what life is in full circle when it's about coming home. And fill the grounds with children and with people that are not just talking truth, in addition, living truth. And see the vibration of all the people that have lived on this journey and the gifts that they bring. And just feel that in your hearts. And we'll leave this today and release this tomorrow onto a plant. So we thank you, Great Spirit, for the fluidity of life and all the blessings. So I will look forward to hearing your stories about what has come into your life with this simple practice. You know, the real root of spirituality is the practice. It's the practice. This Saturday, we also are honoring Jenny McCoy here in a memorial on Saturday from 11 to 1:30. So please come. Yeah. And Kevin, her son, has information. Thank you. Yes. Okay, there you go. I guess it's time to sing the peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with thee. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And let us affirm our unity prayer. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you, everyone. There's some beautiful dogs out there. Please go give them some love. Guys, Woody, thank you. Thank you for everything you did.
you.